Welcome back to Switch Stars, my name's Luke, and today on the channel we're going to be taking a look at Nephenthesys, or at least I think that's how you say it, but this is a new vertically scrolling shoot 'em up published by East Asia Soft. Now there are plenty of great shmups on the Switch, many of which I've reviewed on the channel, and the console is a great place to play them, especially in Tate mode with the awesome flip grip from Fangamer. But does Nephenthesys do the genre justice, and should you be dropping your cash on it? Well, like and subscribe for more Nintendo Switch content, and let's find out. Now, the main menu of Nephenthesys is pretty straightforward. You can jump into a tutorial that teaches you the basics, and if you've ever played a shmup, most of this will be pretty familiar to you. You move with the left thumbstick or D-pad, shoot with the B button, and can launch your drone special ability with the Y button, and we'll get onto exactly how this works shortly, but that's about it for the controls. Heading into the game though, we first get to select one of 4 different ships to start with, each with a different colour scheme, primary weapon and drone ability, but you can also unlock additional ships by completing certain challenges whilst playing, which usually involve beating a certain level with a specific ship. Now, the story in this one is a little cookie cutter, and it's presented to you in a wall of text. But the gist of it is that whilst embarking on a mission to Mars, an exploration crew obtained a strange object, which after returning to a lunar-based laboratory, unveiled that it was in fact a beacon and that a giant ship was heading to intercept it. Turns out the ship is a baddie of course, and so it's now down to you to protect the planet and ultimately destroy it. Like I said, nothing special but gets the job done. The gameplay takes place across a series of unique environments though, including cityscapes, ravines and space, and like the rest of the game, they're all presented with a low poly visual aesthetic, and the music for the game is also pretty decent, having those upbeat retro vibes to them synonymous with the genre, but both are pretty decent though in my opinion. When it comes to the gameplay itself though, this is where the game falls down a little in my opinion, as unfortunately, like the storyline, the moment-to-moment gameplay is a little too derivative and pretty much all of the levels play out in the same way. The enemies in the game generally consist of those that fire in predefined pans towards you and those which directly target you, and while each level usually introduces a couple of new enemies, they're all pretty much of a muchness and you'll encounter the same enemy types from level to level. The movement patterns of the enemies are also wholly unoriginal. You'll usually get a wave entering from the left of the screen, followed by a wave entering from the right of the screen, and while there are a few enemies that appear from directly ahead, ultimately these patterns are incredibly predictable, and again, this continues throughout the majority of the game. Despite this though, there's still a reasonable amount of enjoyment to be had with the game. It's quite challenging at times, especially considering there's no slowdown mechanic available to help you with dodging the constant stream of enemies and bullets, but at least it keeps things engaging. Now when it comes to your weapon systems, these vary from ship to ship and each has its advantages and disadvantages, but they're pretty much your standard shmup assortment of plasma cannons, scatterguns, lasers and burst shots. Occasionally though, when you kill an enemy, it'll drop a weapon power-up, which once collected will not only increase the number of shots you fire, but also refill one of your health bars seen in the bottom right corner, so your health is essentially tied to your firepower in this one. Reaching full power will then arm your drone, which when fired will destroy all on-screen bullets and unleash its special ability, and there's some pretty decent variety here. But you'll also lose a health bar in the process, which may sound like a downside, but if you're lucky and manage to get another power-up drop, this will allow you to repeatedly chain drone attacks together. Now the boss fights in the game are generally against large battleships, each with their own unique firing patterns for you to master, and for the most part they're pretty decent and relatively challenging. But unfortunately, your drone attacks won't actually work against them, so you're going to have to whittle down those large health bars with your standard weapons to destroy them before you're able to move on to the next level. My final criticisms with the game though would be firstly that there are no difficulty settings in it, which if you're having a hard time gives you no option but to get good. And secondly, the performance on the Switch holds up well for the most part, but it does start to lag a little when the action gets a little too heavy. Overall though, whilst it's not the most original game in the genre, Nephenthesys offers a reasonable amount of replayability with a nice assortment of ships to unlock, and these unlockable ships also have unique perks for you to contend with, such as the purple ships sometimes dropping deadly power-ups instead of the standard ones. All in all though, it's an okay shmup for the price and should satisfy most fans of the genre, but experienced players may just find it a little too straight-laced for their liking. If you decided to pick this one up though, let me know how you found it. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below, and be sure to drop a like if this review helped you out and subscribe to the channel for more Nintendo Switch content. But for now, thanks to the patrons of the channel and to you the viewers for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves and game on.